How to write a radio ad script. Well, there are several things to consider, and you know what? There's some real bad practices out there. We're going to go over those as well. So let's get a good ad and avoid the bad ones, shall we? Let's dive in. So in this one, I'm going to go through some really basic things to help you jumpstart your creative juices so you can start writing your ad. And then most importantly, we're going to go over a few things to avoid. These things, you're going to hear them all the time. They're probably in a bunch of commercials right now that are on the radio, and I'm going to show you what makes them bad and what you can fill that space with good information. You ready? Let's go. First of all, the most important thing of radio advertising and probably any advertising is to focus on your customer. Focus on your customer. Make them the hero of the ad. There are too many times when I hear caricatures or cartoons or maybe even somebody acting stupid or something like that. We want to make the customer the hero of the ad. We don't want to make them look foolish, or we want to give them a persona that they can aspire to. Somebody who has their act together. If they're feeling frustrated, they want somebody who has their act together. If they're feeling sick, they want somebody in the ad who is well. If they feel anxious about something, they want somebody who's calm and cool as a cucumber. So that's how we want to portray our hero, our client, in the ad. The one way that you can really tell, is your ad about your store, about you, about your product, or is it about your customer? Look at the language. Look at we or us versus you or they. How many times do you refer to your customer as you? And if you get one today, and if you've ever had this problem, and if you've ever wanted to solve it today, you can come right down to the store and get one right now, and you'll be much better off. You. If you say, well, we've talked to a bunch of people and we know that everything that they're going through has been just terrible luck, and we have the solution. You need to come pick up one of these things from us because we know better. That's not advertising, that's bragging. The we versus us test will get you every single time, okay? So be sure to focus and treat it like a conversation. Talk to your customer. Talk to them. Hey, how you doing? Not, how are you today? I mean, nothing really stiff and stilted, but it's the you connection that you want to make with your listener to hopefully build that bond of know, like, and trust, so they come in and they buy from you. The focus of the ad should be their pain. The focus of the ad should be their problem and how you are going to solve it. That's going to be the breakthrough. Sympathize with them, empathize with them, get them to think that you're reading their mind, and they will gravitate towards you and end up buying. They have to be the focus of it. I know how you feel. Have you been through this before? How many times has this happened to you? That kind of thing, okay? Make that connection with their current situation, because they'll want a solution, so then they'll buy. And then the big thing after that is once they have bought from you, how great is their life now? We see the transformation from bad to good, from sick to well, from anxious to calm. We see all that happen because there's your product, service, or company right there in the middle. You have shown them what they need to do in order to get over this hump or to conquer the bad stuff. Now they're in the good stuff. Let's put the spotlight on their wonderful life now. Another key element to a radio commercial: pick one thing to advertise. One thing. There's so many times when I hear ads about, come in today and you'll get shorts for 50% off, and crop tops, and socks, and underwear, and don't forget hoodies, and pullovers, and sweaters, and it's just a laundry list. Who cares? You're not building a connection with anybody through a laundry list. We want to pick an item, stick with it, and then really work it for all it's worth, both in the emotional aspect and the before and the after aspect, all of that kind of stuff. Once you really dive deep into any of that, you don't have time for any more than one item or one service or one subject for the commercial anyway. And then when it comes to a call to action, you want to pick one thing for your audience to do. There's so many times when I've heard radio ads say, so come in and get yours today. Be sure to like us on Facebook and call for directions. Don't forget to send us an email, and be sure to check that like box on Instagram. That's too many things that you've told them to do or asked them to do. Pick the one thing that they need to do in order to make the purchase, in order to get your product that makes that transformation in their lives. Pick one call to action and one object, service, whatever it is, for the subject of the commercial. So does this make sense? Is this starting to fall together? Are you starting to see a structure starting to form for your radio commercials? Well, if you like this one, be sure to click the like button. And this is what we do around the channel too. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of it. Now, there are a bunch of things that you're going to hear on the radio constantly, at least I do. I hear it all the time. It drives me nuts. These are some of the things to avoid. I've got two big categories for you. The first category is cliches. I don't know how this came about, but for some reason, there are a few standard lines you'd almost think they were mandatory for radio commercials. Stuff like, our friendly, knowledgeable staff. Friendly, knowledgeable staff should come with the territory. You better have a friendly, knowledgeable staff. That should be a given. Convenient parking. I would assume so. If not, you know what? It's no big deal. I've parked out on the street and had to walk a block before. It's not even a consideration anymore, all right? If parking is contingent upon whether I buy or not, you might want to think twice about the business. But that's kind of a stretch, isn't it? Don't you think? Convenient parking, please eliminate that. Conveniently located. Let's dive into this one for just a little bit. The average broadcast radius of a radio station, depending on its wattage, can be anywhere between 5 miles and 65 miles, depending on the wattage and the terrain. You know, the rougher the terrain, the more mountainous the area, the shorter the broadcast radius. But if you're covering if the radio station covers a 60-mile radius and your store's here, trust me, the folks up here, you ain't convenient to them. So don't even tell me that you're convenient. Don't even bring that up, because quite frankly, if you do your ads right, they're going to want what you have to sell, and they will drive that distance to get it. So don't even put that on the table. Don't even mention it. Let them make the decision. And finally, of course, the ever popular, we treat you like family. You mean you're going to borrow $100 at Thanksgiving and I'll never see you again and you won't pay me back? Is that what you're trying to tell me? No, let's not go there. We treat you like family is a cliche. Don't even go there. If we do our job right in the previous part of the commercial, you won't even have room for any of these cliches, and you will be making a lot more sales regardless of your parking and your friendly, knowledgeable staff. Okay? So please, get rid of the cliches. The second thing that is most common is too many topics for one ad. I mentioned this briefly earlier. Let me give you a specific example. There was a pool company that I was writing an ad for. They did new constructions. They did vinyl liner replacements. They had chemicals. They sold chemicals. They designed pools. There were like 5 things on the list. And I documented this in the dialogue between the salesperson and myself and all the revisions we went through. You want one thing and one thing only. In other words, in the pool's case, I would focus on the new construction or the vinyl liner replacements or the chemicals or the new designs. I would not cover all 4 of those, 5 of those, 6 that they had listed in one 30-second commercial. The best you can do is you have a little intro and then you literally list the 5 or 6 things and then maybe a little tiny call to action at the end. There's no connection. Just the plain and simple fact that they sold pools doesn't mean that people are going to flock to them and buy pools. Instead, what I did is I focused on one element, the new design and install. And what I did is I said, what was your favorite vacation? Hawaii? Greece? Maybe even the mountains. Where's your favorite vacation destination? Bring in a couple pictures to Smith Pools and Spas, and they will design your backyard to look as close to that as possible. So anytime you want to go on vacation, you walk out your back door and you're on vacation. Smith Pools and Spas. Call for your appointment today. That was it. I planted the seed, I gave them the picture of their favorite vacation spot, and then I put that favorite vacation spot right in their backyard. And they wanted to go with the ad that had the list of all the 5 or 6 things that they did. So you win a few, you lose a few. They lost a few. But if you can focus on one thing and one thing only, and we'll draw the huge picture of just that one thing, you're going to come out ahead, trust me. And I think I said this earlier, for every single one of those, whether it was chemicals or vinyl liners or whatever, each one of those should get a different commercial. I mean, face it, somebody who doesn't even have a pool, they're going to be the ones looking at design. Somebody with a pool, they're going to be the ones looking for pool chemicals. Two different markets altogether. So they really should be two different commercials between the chemicals and the new construction. And then it just goes for all those other categories that they had listed. Every single one of those should get a separate ad. It makes it much more effective, and you give it time to develop the whole idea and make that connection with your potential customer. Now, you want to take a deep dive into this? Look down below in the description. There's a link down there for the radio advertising checklist. There's much more than just a checklist here. In fact, I walk you through an entire process of brainstorming ideas for your commercials, and then we take that your brainstorming answers and we actually turn it into a script, and I walk you through 2 or 3 different specific examples. There's some really good stuff in there that's going to make your copywriting much easier and your ultimate radio ad much more effective. So click down below, get your copy right now. I'm Nick Natarella with AdWise Creative. Thank you for watching.